In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, Master of the day of requital. Did we beseech for help? Guide us on the right path, on the path we bestow favors, not those who lead astray. Forgive us for our sins, our unjust behavior, our lies, our lust. Protect us from the evil shaitan as he attacks from the left, the right, the front, and the back, the above and below. All praise is due to Allah. My name is Eric Farad Muhammad. These are the Mahdi Tapes, Part 6. Now, today's topic is about economic growth. In the urban communities, we call this hustling, or being a go-getter, hustlenomics. In business, we call this doing for self, running a business. Now, what's my expertise? I'm a salesman. I've learned how to sell door to door in 2001. Before that, I worked for Costco wholesale for about 5 or 6 years, maybe 7. Started out in California, and I learned a lot about business from them as well. And I got involved in door-to-door sales. I was able to move up the ranks relatively quickly. Started in Chicago, Illinois in 2001, and ended up moving to Detroit. And I lived there for about 8 or 9 years, and I have 3 sons in Detroit, and I have a daughter in Chicago. And so a lot of people think I'm from Detroit, but Detroit is like a second home to me. Now, let's talk about economics. What's my resume? I don't know. 2001, maybe made $80,000, $90,000 in sales. 2002, I mean like $350,000. 2003, I don't know, $500,000, $800,000. I don't know. I don't remember. 2004, the same, maybe $1 million, $800,000, $500,000. 2005, $800,000, $500,000, somewhere around there. 2006, that was a really good year. Don't really remember much about that year. So it was up there. 700, 800,000. And in 2007, I started having a lot of issues where I had to go to jail, prison. I had a bad year or two in there too, where I've only made like 100 or 200,000. So it wasn't just a bad year for me, anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a year. And that's when I'm not thinking really clear, or I'm not focused on business whatsoever. Now, 2011 was a great year financially, but I had a lot of legal problems. Same in 2012, a lot of legal problems. So what's up with this meteoric, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, excuse me. Meteoric rises and then these falls that I have. Well, because I had legal issues. That was a big problem. And I would lose focus because I would have these legal issues. And I would tell people I have situations I need them to do this, to do that. And it was just the same thing as in the movie Paid in Full, when you tell a friend, listen, I have these contracts, or I have a legal situation, I need you to hold this for me. And they says, oh, you got this right here, right now. Then their true character comes out. That's all it is, and I'm not complaining about it. One thing about being this individual that I am is that once people find out truly what I represent, their true character comes out. And that's fine with me. And I just have to stay to my true character, stay to myself, then I'll be fine. Now, economics, right? What's truly going on? Am I a guru? Can I make it rain money, or can I not? I haven't really been doing it lately. Last couple of years, couple 100,000, nothing major, right? A year, nothing major. Well, I've been focused on fighting the government. When I say fighting the government, it's get them off me, get them off whatever I'm trying to do, and setting things up to where I had enough control over my economic empire. And you say, what economic empire? Well, it's not there yet. Okay, it's not. So, and that's fine. Yeah, as you can see, my resume is quite diverse, and I know exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and just the effort, the iron will needs to be there. So, excuse me. I'll take these pauses, but I want you guys to understand the truth. I'm not here to lie to you about my experiences. I'm not here to flaunt or sell you a dream or some fancy product that doesn't work. If anything, I'm gonna sell you on Islam because it's a lifesaver. It's divine. It's the only way out. And people who can dispute that, but disputing the truth that's your own choice. You can dispute truth if you want. That's all right. Now, I want to explain to you what's truly, truly going on. All right. Why did they take down Eric Farad Muhammad's Facebook? Well, I'm a threat. They took mine down a day or two before they took Minister Farrakhan's down. It's all right. They do these things from time to time. It's quite all right with me. I really don't care at all. I think it hurts the minister a little bit more because they had to start making some impact on social media, and a lot of people were paying attention. But with the launch of NSA Studios and those social media stars that they just have to build their own platforms, and they'll be fine. It's not a problem. It's probably the best thing that they possibly could have done. You always got to look at every situation and circumstances is how can we use this to our advantage, not as much as how much is, oh, that's screwed up, or I can't believe they did that. Who cares? Let them do whatever they want to do. You have to be reactionary in this business, in this life, in business world. Reactionary thinker. So saying these things, the economic blueprint, let's say, I go out and make $1 million and the federal government takes it, what good is that? You go out to build $100 million corporation, federal government indicts you and takes it. So what is my behavior been over the last few years? If you paid attention, it was kind of threatening. It was kind of mostly aggressive. So it made me look like a bad person, and, sure, some of us still have some questions about, is this guy a good person or a bad person? And, I could claim that I'm a good person, but, only time will tell. So I had to build a reputation of menacing and threatening to those that threaten my income or threaten, me with jail or prison or whatever. I had to let them know that if you cross this line, this is going to happen or that going to happen. So that took a little process. And people have taken advantage of me because I thought I was weak. I'm talking about earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes and Eric's insane, so let's take advantage of him. So it's a process. So those people that took advantage of me, I had to strike with the occult, which is the unknown. And that's why everybody's in total fear of me, because for every cause, there's going to be an effect. So when I feel like somebody should cross the line with me, there's an effect. I'm going to attack them. Right? And I'm going to attack them in the physical. I'm not running up with a bat or anything like that. That's asinine. That's not the way that we operate. Excuse me. Now, will there be jobs and opportunity provided? Absolutely. For everyone. Some of the things that in business-wise I'm involved in is just that it's an opportunity to make money. Right? I'm not pleased about, the back end things. A lot of shady business being done, but, it's America. What is it? Shady here. I don't know what industry here that is American driven, that is not a shady, cutthroat industry. So getting back into my CEO shoes, I had to make sure that I pushed, and the people are afraid. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Eric, this, and well, no. Over the last couple of years, I had some interactions with the police and so on and so forth. And, I had a couple of indictments pending here and there. It was nothing major, because nothing stuck because of my reputation. See, that takes you back to the beginning. My reputation is now growing through all the agencies that I'm one of those people not to address. Period. Don't come at Mr. Muhammad in any way, shape, or form, because he has unknown power, right? We don't know the source. Well, they know the source of it. They don't know, but they don't know how to use it to their benefit, which is a beautiful thing. So saying these things, we're fine. We're in a beautiful place. I had to walk the walk of Jesus, I said, what do you mean walk the walk of Jesus? Well, Jesus had a lot of faith. Jesus taught about faith and the lessons of faith in the Father, as he called it, and God the Father. And you have faith, then you put it in the work, and everything will take care of itself. So when you get to a forest, let's say you're in the forest, a person with faith and vision, and then they put in the work, could turn that forest into a kingdom, by building out, right there in that forest, per se. Now, when we say these things, say, okay, yeah, that's true. I said, well, I'm gonna go back to like the white man. Excuse my language. I call him the white man, the Caucasian. When they were in the wilderness of North America, they looked around and saw trees as a way of income, and they started to kill trees. Now, trees are living beings. They're living beings. I tell you this with, with no hesitation. And so the Indians, the people, that's what they call them, the Indians, the Israelites, the black people that were here before the colonization of America, they didn't worship the trees, but they knew the connection between life and death. So they didn't go around cutting trees. That wasn't, that was a sin to them. So, we call these people pagans or savages, but they were just naturalists. They didn't go around harming trees or anything like that for the benefit of man, Here in America, there were millions of buffalo, everywhere. It was buffalo were all over. And when the Indians or the Israelites, the Aboriginal Americans were here, when they killed a buffalo, it was like a prayer, because they were thankful for that buffalo's fur, the meat, to survive through the winter months. So it was all an interconnection. So they didn't go out killing for profits, or they killed to take care of their family of the buffalo. So there were multitudes of buffalo everywhere in America, all over America. Well, the white man, the Caucasian, came and wiped the buffalo out, right? They wiped a lot of trees out. They wiped the Aboriginal people out. Just wiped them out. When the last time you seen an Indian, full Indian or a family of Indians walking down the street? All right, you don't. You have it. Now, this is important to our economic growth, because when you look at patterns and you study patterns and say, okay, all right, let's see what happened to those people. We see any people that have an interaction with the Caucasian society will be put in a position of servitude or destroyed. Period. There is no positive dealing with the Caucasian. It's just not. In a long-term analogy. Now, technology. Technology is, you know, a huge science, and it's helping us grow and giving us more gadgets, and you know, and we're moving in a more, you know, in a different direction. But where is it heading, right? And this is an issue that everybody needs to look at. They have something called artificial intelligence, where these computer programs are, they have their own way of thinking. You know, they don't just take these commands and do what we tell you to do. It takes all the information, and then it starts gathering all the information that they feed over many years into this database, and it thinks for itself. This plays a big part in the 666 theory. The mark of the beast, the Antichrist, is when they turn on this super AI computer with no soul, that, you know, going to be able to outsmart any human at that point in time, well, almost any human, and it's going to take control of man's destiny. This is where technology and science is taking us. Now, you say, oh, that's ridiculous, you sound crazy. No, Elon Musk spoke on this, the famous physicist that just passed, Hawkins. That was his biggest fear. If you listen to the tech giants, their biggest fear is the release of AI. Right? The CERN experiments that are going on with the particles, you know, breaking the particles, and all this high science, subatomic, you know, the work that they're doing with these CERNs. This has a lot to do with dimensions and breaking dimensions, and, you know, magic and science are going hand in hand. When you study some of the top quantum physicists, they are explaining now, it's getting really weird. Mathematics and science are now heading into a realm of what as the nation calls it, spookism. Yeah, that's what you say, spookism, where they can prove the other dimensions and times and so on and so forth through quantum physics. Now, all these things is relative back to economics, because once you understand the root, you understand the time, you understand the place, you have to use this for economic benefit of you and your people. All right? So, to give you an example, if Moses and his believers knew that Pharaoh was about to fall, his whole society was about to fall, if we do this months, years in advance, would we continue to go out the same game plan that Pharaoh set if we know Pharaoh's not going to be with us much longer? It would be stupid. It would be just stupid. So at this point, we have to start profiting off the fall of Pharaoh, right? They profited for hundreds of years off the profits of your forefathers' hard work and labor. All right. Now, the slave mentality. Let me explain to you. We were being conditioned to work under a boss-slave relationship. That's it. So when we see anything that threatens the plantation, now the plantation in this case is America, black folks will do anything they can to defend that plantation. Not all, but a lot will. You're programmed. You've been programmed. You've been conditioned. And a black messiah would be told on by the house niggas every day. They'll try to throw him under the bus. The house niggas, you can't, because they don't want you messing up what they got going on. Now, here's the problem with black Americans, right? Here's your problem. You think you're better because you live in America underneath the white society, that you got it better than the rest of the world. You think that you've won. That's it. Oh God, you know, I don't want to go over there, this and that. I'm American and da this, da da da. You've bought in to that. I am the top-notch slave of my master. Because once again, when it goes back to the last lecture, you're conditioned to buy everything that they tell you to buy. You are complete suckers. Now, we are. I can't just say you. We are complete suckers, right? Because everything is dictated, fashion, engineering, the social engineering, economics of everything is dictated by your master. Now, I'll give you an example. When you go out and have a good time, you go to do whatever you do, everything's dictated by the master. Right? What you can do, what you can't do, when you can do it, how you can do it, where do you need to drive, everything. Nothing, you have no control. So only way you're gonna have control is to build out, your own. With your own rules and regulations, with your own land, with your own property. And that means separation, and that's going to take a lot of economic growth. Now, the economic game plan is to profit off the fall of our enemies. Period. If we know that the weather's going to be adverse, that we need to make investments in profits or stocks that's going to profit off that. If we know that the fall of the banking system, the fall of the stock market's coming, then we need to study up and have our children studied up, or our young men studied up and women studied up to profit off these things. If we know that America is headed for destruction, then we shouldn't be planning long term anything financially or socially for here. Now, we can make all those plans international, right? You need to set up your whole, everything on an international level. This is very important. But if we don't do these things, you're in the same boat. You're still going to be holding on to your master. Do for self. Now, I've just had the most incredible last couple of weeks because I haven't really been around. I've been with self and contemplating. And I didn't care whatever disaster happened in the world, what was going on in business. It had no effect on me because I know myself. And who am I? What do you mean by that? Well, my resume of who I am, I'm one of the greatest go-getters, hustlers, creators of wealth from nothing there is. That's the bottom line. When I get up, decide to move, I'll move. However, I had to check. See, all those posts how Eric's just saying, who's he talking to? Well, I was talking to FBI, CIA, to, IRS. People don't give a lot of credit to some of the things I do, but the people that are in power, they definitely do. Like, oh, he did it again. He's on the move. I'm sure everything I do is monitored. I don't care because I'm winning. See, if I'm winning, that means Allah is winning, because Allah is always going to win, but because that's who sent me. I have no qualms. Say what you want. If you have something negative to say to me, say it. I will respect you better. If you don't like what I'm saying, speak up. Now, what kind of leader would I be if I attack you for speaking out against something that I'm doing or saying? I try my best to take the information that God's given me and go to the high powers of the leaderships of blacks and say, let's discuss this. Show me where there's fault. I can't even get that because, fear. Fear plays a big part. But you shouldn't be afraid of me because I'm not attacking black organizations. I'm not going after black leaders. I'm not going after black people for say. I am attacking your oppressors. And when the crazy man says, I'm going to go fight the oppressor, and he leaves, and you should say, well, that fool's never coming back. But when he returns back and says, yes, I have some spoils of war, and I won, and, won that battle and I backed him up. Well, you've never seen that before. Except for maybe Elijah Muhammad. You've never seen that. That's new to you. So we're in uncharted water, so you don't know how to react to me. There's got to be an agent, he has to be this, he has to be that. But you don't know how to react to a true winner. That's all this is. I took the cases, I took the IRS and all them, and I shut them down. I silenced them. Because I know how deadly I can be. Now, you've seen some of these things or heard some of these things, and it makes you fearful. But you're the ones in bed with the enemy. You're the one that's catering to the rapist, the molester, the killer, the liar, the deceiver. Now, what's the track record of that? Look at their history. Look at the history of America. Look at the Jim Crow. Look at everything that's happened in America. Look at the blackface videos or tapes of where they mocked you weekly for TV shows. That's all you were there for, were as entertainment. Your ignorance was entertaining to them. All the struggles that black folks had went through was nothing but entertainment. And they said, look at the ignorant, dumb nigger. White America is the one that's been obsessed with race. Obsessed with the black man, women, and child. They went all the way to Africa to get you. So don't tell me that they haven't been obsessed with you. They're obsessed. Now, if you don't believe this, who's the number one, sales act or a rapping act? Excuse me, not sales act, but R&B act. With more white folks here, R&B is a huge industry. Hip hop's a huge industry. The NBA is a huge industry. The NFL is a huge industry. But all these things are dominated by black athletes or black entertainers because they are superior in these fields. But these fields are all controlled, all of them were set up, designed by your enemy. So the profits, everything goes to them. They have control over your livelihood. They have control over your society. Now, I don't understand the music industry, which I didn't understand, and I still don't. You have to go to them to get a deal. Well, why couldn't we put your own infrastructure together? Well, that's what the brother Rap a Lot with and the brother out Suge Knight. And a lot of these brothers were putting together. Even Jimmy Henchman supposedly out there, East Coast, they were trying to put together some, company to not only let people facilitate their rap, but where they own their own masters, they owned everything from the get-go. And they were stopped by the feds. Murder Inc. and them. Yeah, that's who Irv Gotti. Those interesting stories about those things. See, they come after you. The feds have a 98% conviction rate. Who wins? 95. They're impossible to beat. And if you lose, they're gonna hit you with 20 years, 30 years, 85%. It's over with. That's why anybody involved in the dope game, if they're heavy up enough in the dope game, and the feds are involved, it's over with because everybody's snitching. They're telling. Because the only way you can get a downward departure and on federal guideline is by cooperation. Period. There is no other, you can do this or do that. No, it's by cooperation. I've read it. I've read the law. It is what it is. The federal government in America has become a criminal enterprise, or it probably always has. Always was. Now, there's been some righteous men that have stepped in and, they're in there. But all this is relative to the economic growth because, see, in America, the Justice Department, the FTC, all these FCC, all these commissions are set up to stop the undesirables. Excuse me. Those are people that they don't like from growing up. So that's the black corporations. You want to own. You want to own a cable network, or you want to own this, you own that. You have to get their permits And they're going to make you go through hell and high water. They're going to drain your bank accounts. They will destroy you. You understand? Because they have a wicked intent. Their only intent is to stay in control and to keep you 3/5 of a man, woman, or child. So hate me for telling you the truth. Hate me for pointing out that there is no future in going down the same road that you've been going down for hundreds of years with minimum growth. Now, you say, well, we got some freedoms. We got our freedom. Martin Luther King got. No, he did not. It was a threat of violence. It was the Malcolm X's and the Huey Newtons and the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that got you freedom. They were scared to death. You understand? It was a threat of you standing up saying, I will not bow down. I will not go to the back of the bus. I will not do this or that. But I also have to say to you that desegregation destroyed the black businesses. Because then we had to assimilate into corporate America where they have, here, listen, you could be a mid-level manager, you could be a worker, you could do this, but you could never be up top where we're at. And then those that had to fight. Have you ever read Reginald Lewis' book, Watch the White Guys Have the Fun, All the Fun? The trials and tribulations she had to go through. Have you ever read? It's another gentleman that was one of the, I don't remember his name, but he was one of the top black stock marketers in on Wall Street, and he ended up getting indicted, I believe. But the chaos and the drama that he went through on a daily basis because he was black. So these people that made it to the top in a white world and business had to be extraordinary because racism is real. First of all, black people, we understand something. We don't got the problem. We're not the real ones with the problem. There's white people that have been obsessed with race. Look at their history. Study the history of Americans and the white Americans. They've been obsessed with race. They're still obsessed with race. They have some serious psychological defects. It is them, not us. Right? Now, when you start letting people play with your minds, and that's what's all that's happening, black men and women, your mind's being played with, and you're led into this, they're trying to lead you into a position where God would reject you. That's it. That's what they're trying to do. Take you so far to the left, to the extreme, that God will reject you. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with them. I'm telling you, because that's how I feel. I'm like, man, look at these people. Look at that. You call it showing out. You're going to show out. Man, I've been there. I've done it. But you're only making yourself look unattractive to God, because I have something to tell you. And no, I have something to show you. A better life, a better world that's here. It's here. But you have the veil has to be removed from our eyes. And once that veil is removed, you will see peace. You'll see harmony. You'll see happiness. You'll see what family and life and love truly should be about. I have a lot of work to do. I'm not a punk. I'm not afraid. Sometimes you gotta let everything go. And what are God's word about? We're not worried. I'm not worried. We don't worry about money. Why would I worry about money? Why would I worry about anything except pleasing Allah at this point? I worry about some girl or some woman, or it's ridiculous. But it's a part of the experience of living. See, Allah told me, when I say Allah, Master Farad Muhammad used to tell me, he would say, listen, Eric, go live your best life. Go live it whatever way you want. You'll be back to the Nation of Islam. You'll be back without me having to force your hand. This is what I was told many, many times. And there was times in my life I said, I love, the teachings, I love everything, but I'm not going back because this world's not as bad as y'all make it out to seem. Well, 20 years later, I would come back, and this world is terrible. It's, oh my God, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry, Allah. I am sorry for even thinking that people could be raised in this world without your guidance and to be raised into good people. No, they get worse year in and year out. Terrible. Thank God you gave me an opportunity to go out here and see for self and allowing me to come back home. Thank you, Allah. I appreciate that because, you're always right. Always. I ain't here to preach to you. Do what you want. I'm going to tell you how Master Rod told me. Go do what you want. But you don't got much time, and your decision is going to, hey, whatever your effect is, you get of that, that's what you get of it. This is killing season. What does that mean? There's going to be so much death in Chicago, Detroit, LA, New York, down south. The killers are coming. The killers are going to be out in full-fledged this summer. They're coming, they're going to kill so many people. You know why? Do you know why? Because Satan's on his last legs. Satan is on his last days. So he's trying to go out with a bang. He's going to try to take as many people out as he possibly can. But the gods are here too as well. So you will see Satan moving in areas where we're not there. He'll be moving hardcore, pushing the people hardcore. He's going to be in the minds trying to get into your minds and lead you to hell quick, fast, because the gods are here. So what we're going to do is to counteract that is to build a positive environment. The people that are with us will be safe. They will be secure, and their economics will grow in a positive manner. That's the future. That's where we're headed right now. So do make sure you got to choose a side. Oh, you disagree with Mahdi, I disagree with Eric. Disagree with me. I don't give a damn. What I do care about is that I'm aligned with Allah. I'm aligned with truth. That I'm walking with the Most High. And the people that are following behind me, they're not following me. They'll be following, the lead of Allah. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm not, money, that's, you gotta understand, they got a printer, they have these printers, they print it up and they put it out. So what is all this nonsense? They're master finessers. They're the best of the best of the con game. Who are they? Oh, the Federal Reserve, man. So I had to get into my books and my magical essence of self. What do they say? Magic. Right? Because it's such what you don't understand. That's all. Let's just use the word magical for things you don't understand. And go to war. Why don't they mess with Eric Farad Muhammad? Because I'll kill their families. I'll kill their children. And I won't do it with a physical. I won't go with shooting up with a gun. That is so asinine and so, what's the word I'm looking for? Medieval. It's out of date. You're not on the same level as I. You're killing with guns and bombs and poison. Oh, you're so medieval. I can go after their families. I can go after their whole structures, anything with the mind. I can build a business. I can build a country out. I can build anything out with the mind. So I have to choose to do so. See, that's the thing. If I have free will too, and paying attention. See, I've dated a lot of different women in my life, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. I assure you. But what I will want to tell you is that in those learning experiences, I gave me, life choices and understanding. So I'm going to thank the black woman for the time that she did spend with me. I'm thankful, but, I realized that, hell, you're crazy as hell. I'm crazy as hell. We're all crazy as hell, but it's not necessarily our own doing. But if you continue to do the same things over and over and expecting a different result, you're insane. I don't want anything to do with you. Stay on your side. You're about to die. You're about to be wiped out, and we're not. Period. Losers and winners. That's it. And the losers gonna say, they're gonna call the winners the losers, and the winners are gonna be looking at the losers, and some of the winners are gonna be looking at the losers and think the losers are winning. Ironic how this thing works. That's why I said you gotta be studied up, you have to be upright, you have to be divinely guided. And even then we're gonna make some missteps. This is not for this week. This is why the talented 10th, the smartest of the smartest, need to step up now. That's why. Because we have no room for error. One miscalculation and thought, and we take our people in the wrong direction, and it's death. These are the Mahdi Tapes. I greet you with Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. And I'm going to end it here.